You know, pain is such an interesting thing and it's so relative to each individual. When I was 13, I blew on my back by picking up a pencil in my bedroom. Ever since then, I've had back issues. So let's talk about back pain today. What up my peeps, Andy Shea from Unwound Reborn. So in a perfect scenario, we shouldn't have pain picking up a weight like this, or like this, or like this. It really doesn't matter the position that you're in if we're picking up something. But if that position is creating pain, that is usually what we need to correct. The issue that I see is that if you've been doing that same pattern for decades or years and you added a lot of impact to it and you have no idea that there's another way to move, that is usually what's creating that dysfunction over time, which may lead to surgeries or cortisone injections or physical therapy and all of that stuff over time. But if we can choose to correct those movements and teach the body that it can actually do that same movement without pain, over time, maybe you might not need surgery, maybe you don't have to go to as much PT, or this is actually your PT. For example, if you've been picking up something, it doesn't matter if it's a weight or a box or something, and this is the only way you know how to pick something up, with a rounded back, with a tweaked up neck, with the shoulders shrugged up. That is typically the very, very common dysfunction that we see for most people who try to start lifting for the first time. Then we learn to start correcting it. But I've also had trained many people in this athletic position that they're doing this position and they're deadlifting well and it's still hurting, and that's because the neck is always up, the shoulders are shrugged, and you're leading with the lower back. Another way is for me to actually just hinge further back, tilt your weight forward slightly so that your weight is closer to the midfoot instead of the heels, because we usually push through the heels and that's usually what we're taught. But if pushing through your heels and driving through your posterior chain is causing pain, maybe you need to anchor the toes down, tilt forward, hips up high, still nice neutral spine, and then anchor the lats over here and then push through the ground with a nice neutral neck and see how that feels. Moral of the story is, when it comes to pain, every small little degree matters. For athletic purposes, there is benefits to be able to drive through your heels and push this way, but there's also a benefit to be able to push through your midfoot, feel the deep core muscles, feel the front line work. All of it has its benefits. I'm not saying only do one or the other. I'm saying add variation so that your body becomes more resilient in all of these angles, so that your back understands that it's not only allowed to move and pick things up in one particular direction, it's allowed to pick things up in all different directions. And this is just for a hinge. Now we have thousands of other movements, from rotations to jumps to pivoting and all of that type of stuff, and teaching the body how to move all together as a unit. That's the idea of what we're trying to push for in order to build a all-out resilient body in all angles to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. That's all for today. Hopefully that makes you tinker some things here and there. Andy Shea from Unwound Reborn. Have an awesome day. Peace!